Well, we are going to go over these questions relative to Unit 1A. And the first question asks us to decide whether the statement makes sense. Explain your reasoning. So, your argument has no fallacies, so your conclusion must be true. Well, that doesn't make sense. You can have a very valid argument, and that doesn't mean your conclusion has to be true. For example, you could say, well, the sun is shining, which it may very well be, but my house is upside down. Well, hard to believe your house is upside down, so the conclusion is probably false. Nevertheless, the argument was true. On to the next one. The argument contains an example of the fallacy named in parentheses. Please explain how the fallacy occurs in the argument. Well, hasty generalization's the fallacy, and the statement is, Isabel had vegetarian food for lunch every day last week, so she must be a vegetarian. Well, it's just because you have vegetarian food does not mean you have to be a vegetarian. There's a relationship between vegetarians and vegetarian food, but any of us can eat vegetarian food. That doesn't mean we're vegetarians. Please see the definition of hasty generalization on page 17. Number 3, let's see. The argument given or described involves some kind of fallacy. Identify the fallacy. So here's the argument. Each of my brother's 3 dogs have fleas. Therefore, all dogs have fleas. Well, that could be straw man. Well, there's no twisting of words there. B, false cause. Well, we don't have an A before B, so not false cause. Circular reasoning. No, it's not circular reasoning. Hasty generalization. Well, just because your dog has fleas doesn't mean all dogs have fleas, so it's hasty generalization D, and please see that definition on page 17. Now, number 4, if proposition Q fails, your children won't have good schools. Well, let's see, diversion. Well, it's not a changing of subject, so it can't be that. Hasty generalization. No. It's appeal to emotion or appeal to ignorance. Well, appeal to ignorance doesn't seem to fit, but appeal to emotion, you've pushed a button if my children don't have good schools to go to, so it's appeal to emotion. One candidate favors eliminating, this is number 5, affirmative action programs. The other candidate states my opponent doesn't think there's anything wrong with discrimination. Well, not hasty generalization, not personal attack. We're not calling somebody names here, making false allegations. Straw man. Ooh, there is a twisting of words. It could be straw man and limited choice. No, it's not limited choice. It's got to be straw man, C. Now, keep in mind, all these fallacies are defined on pages 16, 17, 18, and 19. So please refer to those definitions. Number 6, when confronted with questions from the press about alleged scandals, a congressman replied that the allegations against him should be ignored since his accuser is part of a vast right-wing conspiracy. So, I mean, who wants to be considered part of some conspiracy? Well, let's see, that's kind of name-calling, and personal attack is some form of name-calling. So it's probably personal attack. What are our other possibilities? Appeal to popularity? Hardly. Limited choice? No. Circular reasoning? No. Clearly it is a personal attack. So number 7, we must limit immigration to the United States in order to sustain the prosperity or prosperous economy. A strong economy is vital to the health and wealth of the American people and the future of our children. Ooh, sounds like a change of subject there, which is diversion. But let's look at the others. B, straw man. Well, there wasn't a twisting of words. False cause, no. Appeal to force, no. I'm not sure what appeal to force is. I don't think it's one of our fallacies, but it's... Nevertheless, it is a change of subject, so that's diversion A. Now, for 8, the argument contains an example of the fallacy named in parentheses. Explain how the fallacy occurs in the argument. And the fallacy is diversion. We just remodeled the restaurant so the food is delicious. Well, that's a change of subject. And please look at that definition on page 19. Straw man. Mayor Brown poses a tax increase to build new schools. His opponent in the upcoming election states Mayor Brown is not concerned with improving the quality of education of our children. Well, that's a twisting of words, so that satisfies the definition of straw man. And again, you can see that definition on page 19. Now, one other thing. There's 3 of these that are fallacies that are sometimes hard to determine, given an example, which is appropriate. And they are false cause, hasty generalization, and appeal to ignorance. So please look up those definitions, and so you can tell the difference. False cause, the structure of that, A comes before B, so A caused B. Hasty generalization, the structure is A and B are related, or continue to be related, so either A caused B or B caused A. And appeal to ignorance is, well, if something hasn't been proven to be true, then it necessarily must be false. So I'll leave you with that.